Hey, fitness and health fans, Coach Frank here. I got a great guest on today. He's big into bodybuilding, a champion now. He's won competitions, but more importantly, he's here to help you get your body under control and get you to where you want to be and really give some good advice. He also gave me some great advice to learn how to do things that I was able to kind of overcome some of the things that were holding me back, getting my body in the right position to get where I want to be. So my guest and I are going to show you how you can relate this to your journey towards better health and how you can overcome your cravings and your mindset to be able to get to the point where you want to be with your health. And I'm going to bring all that to you and more right after this. Let's do this.
Game on, sports, fitness, and health fans, with another episode of the Sporting Good Posture Digital Radio Experience. Gear up for Coach Frank's advice from the sidelines as he helps you crush your game, no matter what sports, health, or fitness game you play.
Hey, this is Coach Frank. I'm sporting good posture. What are you sporting?
Hey, Coach, what do you got for us today?
Welcome back to another episode of Sporting Good Posture. Coach Frank here. And man, this guest that I have on today, we've had him on a few years ago. And since then, he's really done so many new things. I've been able to work with him. I've been able to watch him go through his journey towards better health. And we're going to talk today about different training techniques, better ways to get sleep, posture, exercise, diet. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. So I hope you're ready for a really killer episode, because this is going to apply to you, whether you're a bodybuilder or whether you're just trying to walk up and down the street with your kids. This is for you. And we're going to get to that right after this message.
Where do you carry your stress? Whether you carry it in your shoulders, hold it in your neck, or feel it in your back, it's usually not chronic, but it's always annoying. Carrying stress isn't normal at all. But how can you know for sure how the stress you carry can be hindering you? The answer is the Advanced Postural Impact Screening at Ideal Health and Wellness Center. Chiropractic studies have revealed that posture is more than just how straight you stand. It measures spinal and skeletal support of every body function. Poor posture reveals trouble areas in your basic structure, interfering with body function, leading to pain, discomfort, tension, sleep trouble, and even digestive issues and allergies. There isn't a body function that isn't potentially at risk. Dr. Marghella conducts the Advanced Postural Impact Screening to trace back postural issues to their origins, which often have been accumulating over your entire life, to find the real reasons things haven't been working their best. And that means everything when you're trying to reach your ideal performance. See where the sources of the stress you carry lie, and find out what you yourself can do about them. Call Ideal Health and Wellness Center at 615-567-6683 now.
My guest today is a 37-year-old holistic wellness and lifestyle coach. He's originally from Birmingham, Alabama, but has been a resident of Nashville since 2003. He is the youngest of 9 kids and loves anything dealing with the human body and its performance. As a personal trainer for 17 years, he has worked with hundreds of clients ranging in age from 5 years old to 86. His career focus took a turn towards the holistic lifestyle in 2018 due to multiple injuries and medical conditions. Now, his mission is to bring awareness to alternative treatments to help the body reach its full potential. His hobbies include every sport or style of fitness, with his main passion being natural bodybuilding. He has competed in 9 shows since 2011, 4 of which were all natural competition. And his motto for life is, when your body can trust you, you can trust your body. Also known as Judah Lionitis. Please welcome to Sporting Good Posture, Judah Lando. Welcome to the show, Judah.
What's going on? And you got to address me by my new alter ego, Judah Lionitis.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you so much for bringing me back on.
Man.
I love your podcast, and I actually got it downloaded in my Spotify account. So
thank you.
I'm one of your monthly listeners. So
We've had some good guests lately, man. Like,
I know you're
starting to get more athletes on. I love it. You know, we've been friends a while, and you've been friends with my wife and my sister-in-law with when you train them over down the road here. Yeah, and you've been involved just with sports and bodybuilding for so many years. But really the last 3 or 4 years, you've gotten more into the holistic side of it. So for the listeners out there, we had interviewed Judah a couple of years ago. And since then, he's even expanded more about what he's doing with his training and how he's training people, but also training his own body. I wanted you to talk a little bit more how you got into that holistic side and some of the things you've been doing the last few years now.
I call it my spiritual journey. And so that took the focused off of the weight loss part of it. This was more for me to kind of just shake things up in my own life because, you know, the first time I was on here, when COVID hit, personal training took a nosedive. And I know there's a lot of trainers out there who, you know, really hit that wall because when you close gyms and you can't see people face to face, I mean, it takes a toll on you. So me being the person that I am, I always find a way to just, you know, get myself back to a place where I can be successful. I had to come up with a way to understand how can we go through a time such as this, but also stay on top of our overall health and, you know, just overall wellness and mental health being one of those at the top. So 3 years ago, I had a car wreck, which kind of threw my body out of alignment, and I started to feel effects of it, as well as, you know, feeling like I have to work harder for personal training and no clients are coming. And all these things just kind of wrapped into this big stress ball for me. And the company I used to work for, they own a ranch and they do all their products up there. And we went up there for a week. And when I tell you, man, it literally just took me away. Just being up in the fresh air, everything organic, and just focusing on everything holistic literally changed my mindset in 1 week. And some of the things that one of the chiropractor that was there on the site just told me, hey, you got a lot of mucus, stop drinking cold water. And I'm like, what?
That's interesting.
He talked about the inflammation and all these things.
Yeah.
And so I stopped drinking cold water. And what do you know? We live in Tennessee, and you know the allergies in Tennessee.
Yeah, they're bad.
I stopped drinking cold water and it went away.
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I can just do something as simple like that, which is free of charge.
Yeah.
What other things can I develop to help me, you know, gain my competitive edge, as well as give me the confidence to kind of now step back into that realm of helping people? So that's kind of where the holistic side came from, as I found out, you know, with multiple medical conditions. I have, you know, family history of diabetes and heart disease.
Yeah.
I start to see some of the effects because right now I'm sitting here at 175. At the time when you can't work out, can't go to the gym, and you can't do all these things, you will gain weight quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm only 5'5.5". I was up to 230.
Oh, wow.
And when you start to, you know, tiptoe on that line of your body struggling to carry itself, that's when all the elements start to kind of surface a little bit. So I started to feel chronic fatigue. I started to feel just joint issues, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, just with that that one holistic tip of just not drinking cold water changed everything. And I saw my mind clear up. So now I have dedicated myself over the last 3 years to finding every single little ice bath, vibration plate, foam rolling, cupping, dry needling, like you name it, I've done it. And I would love to share some of this stuff with all of my clients and anyone who is not even in the Nashville area, because that's the cool thing about this style of training and business is it's a mental thing. It's more than going into the gym. It's more than a workout. It's more of getting your mindset in a place where you're confident to make the necessary changes in your life. You're confident to actually go to the gym. You're confident to say that I can go to this party and not eat this pizza. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's, you know, it's been wonderful. And you can speak to this because, you know, a couple of little things that we've done, you've seen a result really, really quickly. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Well, and I had done some of the things. I lost about 8 pounds. But in the process of that, I've also kept it off because not only did I lose some weight in inches by just doing that, my joints have felt better. My energy levels have been better. I'm not as bloated. I feel like my clothes are fitting better. I just haven't felt the joint tightness. Also, it's kind of shrunk my stomach and it's helped with a lot of my cravings. the cravings I was having, because, man, I grew up Italian. We grew up with pasta and pizza and bagels and Italian bread. I mean, it's been my life for, since I was like 5 or 6 years old. And to break that habit, it's been hard. And it's really helped me cut down on that, because I'm not having those cravings as much. And then when I'm eating things now, if it was on my plate, I'd be like, all right, I got to finish this. Well, now I've been like, all right, I'm full now. I'll save this for later. Especially if you go out to eat, right away, you should just pack up half that food, because they already give you too much. So anyway, I would eat it most of the time. But now I'm like, I don't want to eat that. Now I got a meal for later. So I'm not having the cravings, and I'm not overeating like I was, which are two big things that I think stop a lot of people from losing weight and keeping it off. So that, I want to thank you for introducing me that.
Losing weight is the hardest thing that someone could possibly do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We put so much crap in our bodies, and you got to look at it like our bodies are almost a sewage system. If you throw couches and, trash into the sewer system, it'll block the way that the city filtrates its water system.
Yep.
But give it a couple of days and allow it to cleanse itself out. And next thing you know, everything in the body is clicking on the right cylinders. Your thought process is so much clearer.
It is.
Your digestion is A1. And now when your body's at that reset, now we can go in and go, all right, let's talk about what you should eat for breakfast. Let's talk about, even if you need to eat breakfast. I'm that type of person where, and you're probably the same way, you don't take advice from people who you can't see.
Yeah.
I
got to know and trust them.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, don't give me advice if you aren't using the advice or you haven't used it and I can't see a return from it.
Yeah.
So I'm that kind of guy where I want to make sure that I'm able to do these things so that I can properly coach you through them and give you an understanding of, hey, this is where we start and this is how we grow together.
Well, the same thing with me, over the years, anytime I tell a patient to do something in my office, it's something I've already done, whether it's wearing orthotics, doing K-laser treatments for whatever body part is injured, doing lipo laser, we have a Chirothin weight loss program, getting adjusted. I do these things not only because I want to keep myself healthy, but also so I can give better advice to my patients. Hey, I've done this. This is the results you can expect. And I can look somebody in the eye and they'll know, hey, like, this guy means it because he's actually done it. So I know what you're talking about. And I know you do the same thing with your clients too.
And I love what you just said. That was amazing.
If I don't stay in shape, I can't be a chiropractor. It's a very physical job. It's also mentally, I have to be able to make quick decisions, give people good advice, and I got to keep my head in the game, regardless of what's happening at home with my kids or whatever. I got to be, okay, I'm here for you, and I'm here to serve you while I'm in this office for the next 10 hours.
Imagine you get that defiant client who goes, Judah, you can't do it. Why would you tell me to do it? And here you are, because you've already had, 10 sessions today. You're fatigued. You haven't had time to eat. And now you're over here trying to prove a client wrong.
Yep.
Which, the fact that you neglected yourself, you now can't properly perform the service that you're trying to teach them to adopt.
Right.
So it's counterproductive. So at some point, where do you stop, reevaluate, and then start really coming up with an idea and understanding how to really reach the clients? And the only way that we can reach the clients is being who we say we are and doing the things that we are telling them to do. So that's kind of another reason why, this approach for me was so critical, because it has now opened me up to saying, hey, you know what, Judah, this is pretty hard. And this single mom has 3 kids and she works 2 jobs. Like, she can't see you at the gym. How can you help her?
I think almost the pandemic helped with that, because you can do now a lot of coaching through Zoom, and
Absolutely.
You can really just be a part of them, even if you're not right next to them. You've done the natural bodybuilding competitions really to prove that you can do what you do and look amazing on stage and do it without drugs and without illegal
Absolutely.
substances. And that's what I admire too, is that you're doing those competitions specifically for yourself so you can train others how to do it on their own too.
The holistic lifestyle is my steroids.
I like that.
Because that's all anabolic steroids do, is they maximize your recovery time.
That's true. But, and you had another saying that you were just telling me earlier. What was the other saying you were telling me about trusting?
If your body trusts you, you can trust your body. If you cutting corners, if you are not doing what you need to do, no one else sees it. But guess who sees it though? Your body. You can lie to everybody else. You can lie to me as your coach. But all I got to do is look at the stats. If we're keeping accurate stats, the goal is 2 pounds a week. That's right. You say you want to lose 30 pounds, it's going to take you 15 weeks. That's math. It takes 3,500 calories to burn 1 pound.
And that's a reasonable expectation too. I think people think that they're going to do this in a very short time. And there's ways to do that, but it's not always a healthy way. No. And it's not always going to stay off that way either. So doing it right and maybe taking a little bit longer is better than just, doing a half-assed job and just trying to speed through it.
Absolutely. And, the goal over that course of time, because I usually do 30 days at a time.
Yeah.
Over that course of 30 days, it's to retool your brain and retool just actually to undo all the bad information that you've accumulated over the years. Everybody has their own. Well, this guy told me if I ate, cardboard for 2 days, it's something always crazy.
Yeah, and heard it all, man.
And my number one question to them is, have you done it?
Right. Did it work for you?
Did it work?
Yeah.
Because if it worked for you, no one can tell you different.
Yeah.
Know thyself. Like, I truly believe that's the number one thing we were put here on this earth for, is to know thyself. And if you don't know how to operate this body, it's just like not knowing how to operate a car. It could be deadly.
And, you were talking really, the gym is just a small part of the
That's
journey.
Disney World.
Can you go into, go into that, what you're saying? Because you made a really good point about that. And I think people have it completely opposite.
The gym is only 10% of the total pie when it comes down to being fit, as we call it. The gym is a tool that allows you to break down muscle fiber and build it back up through your nutrition and your recovery efforts. So think about this. If the gym is only 10%, because truth, you don't burn calories in the gym. You give your body the ability after the gym to burn more calories. See, I think that's where that's the misconception.
I love that.
If I go stand on this stair climber, I'm going to burn these calories. Like, okay, if that was the case, you would see so much body fat laying next to the stair climber.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, you still look the same when you get off. Because if I can get on a stair climber and just go and lose weight every day, man, it should be a line at the stair climber.
And you're right. It's maximizing your body's ability to be able to do those things.
There you go.
You're consistent with it.
You're teaching your body that, hey, we are going to burn calories today. Well, what you need to do is the calories that I put in you, let them go. Because that's what we've trained our bodies over the years to hold on to energy, because we don't put out enough effort. When I see a person overweight, I look at a smart body.
Yeah.
Because that means that body has now gone, okay, we can't trust him to take care of me. So I'm going to, whenever he puts food in me, I'm just going to hold on to it, because I don't know the next time he's going to eat.
That's a good
communication is everything. Mind-body connection. When I communicate to my body, hey, I'm going to put this food in, but we're going to the gym here in an hour. And I'm going to do a really hard workout. So I want you to use what I put in you right now to help me break down more muscle fiber. And then when I get home, I'm gonna replenish that account. And then I want you to use that to build the muscle. When my body is so occupied on doing what I'm telling it to do, when does it ever store fat?
That's the beauty of it too. And you doing these competitions and you also experimenting on your own body has really got you tuned in on exactly what to do. Now, while you were training for your competition, you had been coming in and doing lipo laser. I wanted to ask you about your experience with that and now what you're seeing after the fact with your body, especially like with your waistline.
What people don't understand about red light therapy is it rejuvenates the muscle. So by having red light therapy that close to my abs, one of my biggest problems were when I was training abs is I would get crazy cramps in my abs. And what I found out was while I was doing that laser lipo, it was also recovering my abs. So now they came back actually so cool. Thicker and stronger now.
And I knew there was healing abilities of that lipo laser because of the red light therapy, but now you're living proof that that's what it was doing.
Everything's about recovery.
Yeah.
Everything that we do is about learn how to feel good. That's an intoxicating feeling. Anything that's going to take you away from that feeling, that's where your cravings have subsided because you know that like right now, you talking about somebody every weekend that had a Papa John's pizza, that was me.
Yeah.
But now when I see a pizza, like especially because I watch tons of YouTube. I mean, I'm a wealth of, sometimes useless knowledge. And every ad that comes on YouTube is like a pizza or some type of food. Mm-hmm. And now as I look at that, I'm like, the first thing that I think about is how am I going to feel after I eat that? I know what feeling good feels like. And I don't want to jeopardize that. So that actually keeps me motivated to maintaining that feel good, idea. So that's where the cravings, that's why we broke the cravings, because now I've taught you, hey, yeah, it feels good to eat that pizza. Yeah, you release those endorphins. But once those endorphins have subsided and now you're in the bathroom for an hour.
Right. You regret it immediately. And that's really where it's at. If you can control those cravings and you can start knowing what good feels like, you don't want to feel bad anymore. And you'll do anything you can to stay out of that toxic mode because it's so hard to get out of it again that you just don't want to go there.
All right. So I think we should go ahead and just talk about the elephant in the room.
Yes, sir.
I consider it a cuss word, sugar. Where are you mentally on sugar now?
I know how bad sugar is, especially like just cane sugar. It's in everything. It's an additive, like we were talking about ketchup before, just things you don't even think about. There's a ton of sugar in it. Sugar now makes me feel horrible. I don't even.
That's what I want to hear.
So my wife, her birthday was last week, and my daughter made a cake. And I had like this tiny little sliver of cake, and I'm like, that's good. Years ago, I would just eat a bunch of that, and I would feel terrible afterwards. But you're right. Like sugar is the number one thing that's causing people to be unhealthy, and the leading cause of heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, Alzheimer's too. And it's unfortunate. I'm seeing this now. My mom is in her 70s now, and I'm seeing how diet has played a role in, unfortunately, having her to see her go through some dementia now. Yeah. And I fear it's just going to get worse, but a lot of it's fueled because of not eating right for the years before that, because intestinal health has so much to do with mental health.
Absolutely.
Your intestines are toxic. There's a direct link between intestines and your brain. You have a higher incidence of Alzheimer's, dementia, sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep, when you sleep, your body basically cleanses out the toxins you've used. Your body's a machine. You got to get rid of the toxins you use as fuel from the day. So the fat you've burned, the carbs you've burned has got to go somewhere. If you're not getting enough sleep, that's the time it cleanses it.
Absolutely.
So those two things for mental health are huge. So cut down on the sugar and get better sleep, and you're going to start seeing just so much better health overall.
So that's what it boils down to. It's the routine. And that's where I come in. Yes, you can go through all these things and you can see what works and what doesn't work. But at the end of the day, you still have questions about how do I implement this into my daily life? See, that's where the lifestyle part of my coaching comes in. Yeah. I'm a holistic and wellness coach, but it's a lifestyle.
That's right.
It's teaching my body that on a daily basis, here are a couple things that will keep me progressive, keep me being as efficient as I need to be. And like you just said, sleep is, when I tell you it's at the top of the, sleep, water and sleep.
Yep. That's right.
Water at the top, because when we find water in the universe, that means there's a sign of life. Yeah. Water. And then sleep, where no one ever goes to sleep at night and not plug their phone in.
That's right.
Why do we not? Like, sleep is the equivalent to plugging our bodies in.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, it's like having an old adapter. If your body is not already doing what it needs to do, if it's already struggling while you're awake, it's probably going to struggle while you're asleep. So therefore, your sleep doesn't actually give you what you need, and you still wake up sleepy.
Yeah, which is the case for many people.
Yeah. So people are just in a vortex of bad habits that need some type of guidance. And that's where I come in and say, hey, this worked for you. Okay, let's make this a thing. Okay, this works. Let's make it a thing. And you just need accountability. And that's what I'm there for, to make sure that you're staying accountable to what you understand to be truth.
That leads me into what we've been talking about this year now is Judah and I are going to be working a lot more hand in hand with the things that we're doing with his clients and my patients, and really trying to hone in on what is going to help you personally in your quest, whether it's losing weight, building muscle, whatever your goals are, but also doing it the right way and having the right mindset. And that's something that both Judah and I are going to be helping you with.
That word, man, mindset. Yeah.
If you can't control your cravings, if you can't control your portions, if you're not getting good sleep, if you're not in some of these good routines, no matter what you do, and if you try to overcome it with the gym, you can't outpace a bad lifestyle. You can't. I've tried it, and you know what? I've done some things in the past where I made the gym the top of my list, and it works for a lot of things, but it didn't get me over the hump because I also didn't incorporate some of the other things that we've been talking about today. So that's one thing. Me and Jude are going to be working together, just for me personally, but also he's going to be doing shows, natural bodybuilding shows later this year again, and we're also going to be doing a big challenge come November, which we'll talk about more in a future podcast. But we're going to be doing a lot of things together to really help his clients and my patients get the best and get the most out of their bodies. And really, like you said, it starts with changing their mindset.
And now that I look the way that I look, I had to remember that I see myself as the truth now.
Yeah. You've been on both sides of it now.
Absolutely.
You can speak from experience, and you have the photos to prove it. You have the progress to prove it. And you've had the time basically in the lab over the last number of years, even before the last few years, but like the last 20 or so years of all the things you've done. You know what to do now and what not to do. And you can sit there and really help people hone in on how they can get the most out of their body.
If you look at me, obviously something I'm doing is working.
We've posted some pictures on my Instagram. If you follow me, Ideal Health and Wellness Center, you'll see some of the pictures of him doing the lipo laser in the office, me standing with him. I mean, Judah's a specimen, man. Like, he's put the time in, and I got to tell you, and see some of his pictures when he gets to the shows. And then he's got another show coming up, I think he said in December.
Yeah.
And man, he knows how to do the right thing for his body to prep and be ready for these shows.
You know, every time you think of bodybuilding, you think of these bodybuilding diets, right, where you're eating 6 meals a day, you're overtaxing protein and all these things. And what I've learned is those things also have negative consequences that come along with them. And the one thing that I was hitting was like a downslope depression after.
Yeah.
Because what you do is you build yourself up into this person that is a bodybuilder.
Yep.
But what do you do after the show? You know, and that's what a lot of people don't think about before they start. So when I started in January on this, I told myself I wanted to do this as intuitively as possible, meaning I wanted to just listen to my body. I wanted my body to tell me what it needed to do. And, you know, So like I said, I started in January, and my first show in June, on June 13th, I placed first in my middleweight division.
That was impressive.
First of all, when they called my name for first, I didn't plan for that, but it was just a testament to how powerful our minds can be when your body trusts you. What you're about to see over the next couple years is Judah doing all kinds of, weird physical feats, because I want to test out, these bodies are amazing, man. This is God's greatest gift that he's ever given us. And shame on us for not being able to, utilize it and enjoy it for the time that he gives us.
I want to maximize the life that we have. I want to help people get the most out of whatever it is they want to do, whether they're a bodybuilder or whether they're just trying to go hiking, with their kids, like whatever it is. I just want people to be able to live their best life. And that's why I enjoy working with you and picking your brain with this stuff and watching you really experiment with your own body on how to make this possible.
That's the reason that I took on this new persona, is because to start off a new lifestyle, you have to change your mindset. And in my mind, I had to leave the old me behind, and I had to adopt the new practices of Judah Lionitis. And that's what social media gets. Dr. Frank, you can still get Judah Lando. Me and you can sit around and we can chop it up and we can have fun. And, but Judah Lionitis is a person dedicated to helping others realize their potential without all the harsh realities of some of the stuff that can go on. Meaning, if I want to lose weight, I have to go on this crash diet and take all these pills or go get surgery to do it. And you neglect what all that comes with that kind of stuff. Not only is this practical, but it's financially feasible. And I'm that guy who I look at the risk versus the reward on everything. Imagine when you're not really risking anything and you're getting a huge reward from it. So yes, it's Judah, JUDAH _Lionitis. That's LIONIDAS. It's like, I got that from King Leonidas of the 300.
I was just going to say, man, I love that movie.
I don't want to be a person who just sits there and tells people what to do. One thing that I admire about King Leonidas of the 300 was when he went into the Battle of Thermopylae against those 100,000 Persians, he was at the front.
He was leading it. That's right.
And he looked the most impressive.
He did.
So that's kind of the persona that I want to take into this holistic lifestyle, where I'm going to lead from the front by doing everything that I can do. And so that I can show people the progress. And so it gives them enough motivation. Reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook. I made a deal with God that I was going to give it 100% this year on bodybuilding, and everything that I've done thus far that God has truly allowed me to do has helped me in so many different ways.
You talk the talk, but you walk the walk. And that's the people I want to be around. So I look forward to working with you more this year and in the future. And then I know you got that I think it's December, right? It's the big boy, man. We'll be doing more lipo laser with you. We'll be getting you ready for that. We'll be tracking your progress, and we'll do another episode here in about a month or so to kind of update on everything. And then going into November, what we're going to be doing even more so to get people on the right track before the holidays hit. Awesome, man. I'm so looking forward to it, because this is usually the time that a lot of people are starting to kind of wind down. And I want people that are listening to this that are football fans. Football season just started. Yep. What is the most important quarter of the football game? Fourth quarter. We are now in the fourth quarter of the year. That's a good point. You could have stunk up the whole game. The first 3 quarters of the game, you could have stunk it up. But this is an opportunity right now in the fourth quarter to truly get yourself back on the horse. Truly get your mind back focused on what it is that your heart truly wants. And I don't care who it is. If they're listening to this podcast,
they feel the same way that a lot of people are feeling. They want answers.
Yep.
They want truth. They want reality. And there's the only way to get the reality and the truth that you're craving, and that's by being proactive on the attempt to just change your lifestyle.
Well, thanks, man, for your time today. I know you got some things going on today. You probably got to get to the gym again.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
Thanks again for everything. I mean, you have been one of the biggest supports on my team right now, and I can't thank you enough. So therefore, the way that I can thank you is to truly show that same love to anyone that comes to me that wants to just be better, who wants to live a productive and efficient lifestyle, because you're not just doing it for you. You're doing it for all those people who your family, basically you're doing it for your family.
I agree, man.
So I'm here to help, man. Reach out.
All right, man. Thanks again. We'll be talking soon. So one of the cool things Judah brought up was just about his experience with doing the lipo laser. Because like he was saying, when you're trying to do weight loss, you're trying to get inch loss, it's usually not a quick thing that's going to happen. It's going to talk about taking about 15 weeks. If you're trying to lose 30 pounds, that's a couple of pounds a week. And really in the meantime, sometimes you don't see those results, and it can feel like a long time. So why we offer lipo laser is so that you can see those quicker results. And what he brought up was a great point about how it's also helping in his recovery, because really red light therapy is not just for inch loss, but it's also for circulation, it's for decreasing inflammation, and it's for recovery after these workouts. So he was saying how he was getting a lot of cramps in his abs, and he just wasn't recovering as quickly from these workouts. So he's found that the lipo laser not only gets the inch loss he's looking for, but also the recovery he needs to be able to go and work out the next day and continuously do that to prep for these shows and also be able to train his clients. And really, that's something that you need to think about. If your body is getting cramped up, if you're just not really able to recover with your workouts, the lipo laser is also a great tool for that recovery part of it. So we also have the K laser in the office, where if you actually get a joint injury, it's great for that localized knee problem, back problem, foot problem, shoulder problem. And then the lipo laser gets more of a blanket coverage, especially on that torso area where you can get cramped up from these workouts, and it really gets that recovery speed up a lot. So make sure you're following Judah on Instagram at Judah, JUDAH _Lionidas, LIONIDAS. Folks, I'm looking at his Instagram right now, and man, if you look at some of the training videos he's had, he's got pictures from the competitions he's done this year. I mean, you can see the time that this guy's put into his body and his mind to be able to do this kind of stuff. And he's 37 now. I mean, this isn't like he's, 17 or 27. I mean, this guy is around the same age as me and many of you that are listening out there. And he's been able to do this with his body. So just so you know, it can be done in your 30s. It can be done in your 40s. I've had Dr. Ben Duke on a few months ago, who got into bodybuilding in his 40s now and won competitions up in Pennsylvania doing that. So it can be done, and it just takes the right mindset and the right team around you to be able to do that. So Judah and I are going to be working together a lot more going forward, and we're going to be working together to really get your body back where it needs to be. So whether it's chiropractic, weight loss, lipo laser, if you need some coaching, Judah's great with that, workouts, personal training, all these things are really helpful to get you on the right track to back to where you want to be. So reach out to me on Instagram at Ideal Health and Wellness Center or Facebook at Ideal Health and Wellness Center. Tell me what's going on, and I'll tell you what I think. Remember, the coach's door is always open. This is Coach Frank. I'm Sporting Good Posture. How about you?
The Sporting Good Posture Podcast is a broadcast wellness production powered by Ideal Health Wellness Center. All content copyright 2021. All rights reserved. Executive producer Frank Sardella. Coach Frank appears courtesy of Ideal Health Wellness Center in Franklin. For more information, visit sportinggoodposture.com and follow Coach on Instagram at sportinggoodposture.
Okay.
So sit tight, because we're going to bring all that to you and more right after this.
Okay.
You forgot already. Nothing's coming to my mind. Now we need something here. Okay. All right. Do you know what you're supposed to say now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.